Armored cars are just essential when it comes to playing GTA Online. People for some reason love to shoot rockets at other players for no reason, and I can't blame them too much since it is quite fun to do that. But probably nobody wants to be blown to pieces, so today I will show you the best armored vehicles that won't break the bank, and one of them you can even get completely for free. Although I want to exaggerate this point by saying that armored cars are not the cheapest thing to buy, and cars on this list will be roughly around the $1 million range. But one of the cars on this list will even make you money, so let's get into the cars. The cheapest car on the list is the Imponte Duco-Def, which will withstand 7 homing rockets. This car, if you have the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, will be free for you, and if you don't have the Starter Pack, it will set you back $665,000, which is quite a low price for what you get. For the money, you will get an amazing car, which I think is really good for starting players, since it will be both good in missions and in public lobbies. As mentioned earlier, this car can withstand 7 homing rockets before it blows up, which is a good number, but that's not the only armor this car has. You could also notice that enemies or other players won't hit you as much if they are shooting at you with guns, since the front window is actually armored and there will only be this small hole on the driver's side that enemies can shoot you through. The side windows, although they look like they have armor, the armor plates on the side windows are just for the looks. The car also drives great considering it is a muscle car, and the top speed is also quite good, which will come in handy when you inevitably will have to travel across the map to complete the missions. Overall, the car is great for the money, so now let's look at even more interesting cars. And just to let you know, the cars will be more and more armored against rockets the farther we go in the video, apart from one car that is an exception, but I will explain that when it comes to it. HVY Insurgent is another great armored vehicle which will have big step up in armor withstanding 27 homing rockets. The car will set you back around $700,000 to $900,000 depending if you have the trade price or not. Insurgent is a great armored vehicle obviously because it can withstand that much rockets, but it is also quite fast for such a large vehicle, and it will also be great off-road because the car is high off the ground and stable because of the weight. The only unfortunate part about this car are the big windows which people will be able to shoot you through with not much difficulty, which will leave you susceptible to gunfire even though the car is tough against the rockets. This car could also be boring to some people because it is quite old and doesn't have many upgrade options, and to add to that, the handling of this car will really feel like you are driving around a huge piece of steel. But there is a newer version similar to this car which has addressed a lot of problems with Insurgent, although all the improvements come with a bigger price tag. The vehicle I am talking about is the HVY Nightshark, which can withstand the same 27 homing rockets. Obviously, the Nightshark has a jump in the price tag costing $1.2 million, but I think that the price tag is justified. To start, the Nightshark is much sportier version of the Insurgent with a higher top speed and being lower to the ground, and thus being able to go around the corners much better. It also addresses the big windows by having window armor plating in the upgrade options. If you choose the window armor, you will no longer be able to use your weapons while you are in the vehicle, but the window armor will make the front window bulletproof against bullets together with the rear window, making you more safe inside the vehicle. Although weirdly, the door window armor is just a cosmetic feature which you can shoot straight through. You can also upgrade the Nightshark however you want, and you will have a lot of options to do so. Overall, the Nightshark is way better compared to its predecessor, the Insurgent, and I highly encourage to save up the money to buy the Nightshark instead of the Insurgent. Now let's get to the car which I earlier mentioned as being an exception for this list. It is the Bravado Greenwood, which withstands 12 homing rockets, and it is quite a special vehicle. The Greenwood costs from $1 to $1.4 million, but there is a catch. When you buy this car, it won't withstand even a single rocket and will blow up like a regular car. To make it withstand those 12 homing rockets, you will have to upgrade the car. Seems simple, right? And it is not really that simple, since to upgrade it to have the armor, you will first have to own the agency building, and if you don't own it already, it will be a costly purchase which will make the Greenwood not worth to get. But if you own the agency building, in it you will also have a 20 car garage and a workshop in which and only in which you can upgrade a Greenwood and add that armor plating upgrade. The armor plating will set you back $150,000 and that upgrade will make the car armored against homing rockets and the windows bullet resistant to small arms fire. I just wanted to make a quick note that the Greenwood is quite a glitched car, and even when I took off the armor plating, it still withstanded a lot of rockets, but trust me when I say this, it will not withstand any rockets without the armor plates and will withstand those 12 homing rockets with the armor plates. The car is just glitched, even the trim goes weird when you are upgrading it. Don't know why, just keep that in mind. If you have the money, you can also add the Imani missile lock-on jammer, which won't allow homing rockets to lock onto the car. But the upgrade costs $400,000, and if you have that amount of money, the video is quite pointless to you and you are better off checking out this video. Anyways, the Greenwood is quite a great car, but it is also really costly if you don't already own the agency garage. Now, as promised, there is also a free vehicle you can get, which is the Brickade 6x6, which will stand a staggering 48 homing rockets. To get this car for free, it is not that simple, but it will also be fun. You will have to start a whole lineup of missions, the first those missions which you will have to complete in order to unlock this vehicle. In one of the last missions, you are tasked to steal the Brickade 6x6 and deliver it back to the freak shop to complete the mission, and after that mission, the Brickade 6x6 will be yours. You will be able to call it in through your service tab under the service vehicle section, where the Brickade 6x6 will be called the Asset Lab. It will be called the Asset Lab since the truck will also become a mobile business, and if you want to understand more about the business and how exactly to get the Brickade 6x6, I highly suggest watching my previous video, in which I not only explain how to become a millionaire from scratch, but I also explain in detail the Asset Lab business and how to start it. Now let's actually talk about the truck. The Brickade 6x6 will be ridiculously armored at 48 homing rockets, meaning that Oppressor Mark II can shoot at you with all the 20 homing rockets it has, then go back to the Terabyte to refill his rockets, and then go back and dump all the new 20 rockets on you, and then still he won't be able to explode you. But the Brickade 6x6 is also a big truck, and you might ask, why would you even want to drive this truck? Well, you will want to drive it since it is not only a large truck. To start, the Brickade 6x6 is not as slow, being only 9 miles per hour slower than the Insurgent. Also, when you upgrade it, you will be able to add ramming weapons which will be functional, and if you choose the big scoop option, you can ram cars out of the way, and if you are driving fast, the big scoop will launch the cars high up in the air. You can also buy non-lethal mines like the kinetic mines, which will also launch cars in the air if the car drives over the mine, and the mines will be amazingly fun to troll other players. So apart from being an absolute tank, the Brickade 6x6 will also be a lot of fun to use. Just to clear it up, there are much cheaper vehicles which can withstand 2 or 3 homing rockets, but I don't think those cars are useful, since if someone shoots at you, they are most likely to shoot more than 1 rocket at you, which will render all the cars that withstand 2 rockets absolutely useless. But maybe you know other cars that are really great and are inexpensive, so leave that in the comments down below. If you like the video, hitting the subscribe button will be highly appreciated. And as always, I will see you lovely people in the next one. Have a wonderful day. The Brickade 6x6 will be ridiculously, what the fuck?
Ridiculously.
Ridiculous. What the fuck? I won't be able to say it.
Ridiculously.
Yes, I said it. Ridiculously. Holy Toledo. I cannot talk today.